Welcome back to another episode of Fifth Block Sports. You football fans are going to love this one. We've got all football, all show, as we have the AFC and NFC Championship games along with our pick'em. Ashton is red hot in the playoffs. Jalen finding himself hot too in the playoffs, and I've been struggling. So we'll get to that at the end of the show. But first, we've got the AFC, we've got the NFC breakdowns. Like always, check us out on YouTube, Twitter, and then gonorthman.org/podcast. While you're over there, go ahead and check out the Chop podcast, all Oak Park Sports. Again, that's the Chop on gonorthman.org/podcast. But let's get to why we're here. Again, this has been Fifth Block Sports. Jalen, go ahead and hit that green button for me. It's the NFC Championship. We're down to 4 teams. We're going to start with the NFC. We have the San Francisco 49ers traveling to Philly to take on the Eagles. This is a big spot for both teams. I think this is going to be a test for both teams. Let's start with Jalen. First of all, Philly dominated last week. 49ers kind of fumbled through their game. Their defense looked good. What does Philly need to do in order to make it to the Super Bowl?
Like usual, they're going to have to stick with the run game. Like I always say, run the ball, try to get a couple play actions in. And another thing 49ers are going to have to do, stop the run game. And this is a big test for Brock Purdy too. This is really a big test for Brock Purdy.
If I remember somewhere, I think he's 500 on the road and really hasn't played many road games in the NFL. I think he went to Vegas and won, and then maybe one other game, but all the playoff games have been at home for the 49ers, so he's used to that, but now he's got to travel to Philly. I think this is probably the most hostile environment he's played in the NFL, and even back in college, I think he was 10-11 as a starter on the road. A different team, and you never know. He's been playing well. So we'll have to see what he does there. But, yeah, I agree. I think Philly having over 200 rushing yards last week, I think that's their recipe for success, is getting that run game going. And they've done it with a plethora of running backs, even Jalen Hurts getting in on the mix and kind of sharing that ball. Ashton, what do you see out of this Eagles team? What can take them to the Super Bowl?
Eagles team, Jalen Hurts having a great game.
Yeah,
kind of having that true great Jalen Hurts game that we know he's capable of. Didn't really have to do a whole lot last week, which was good. But I really expect Jalen Hurts to have a great game and A.J. Brown to do A.J. Brown things. Yeah,
and a question for you. We've seen Brock Purdy and what he's done, and he's on this kind of remarkable run as a rookie and entering the playoffs hot and then continuing through the playoffs. Will Brock Purdy kind of rise to the occasion, or is this where the pressure kind of gets to the rookie and you see a few mistakes out of him?
I think he's going to crack.
You think so? You think this is the game where they kind of get to him?
Yeah, I just think it's going to happen at some point. I think it's going to be this game.
Yeah.
I just don't think he's ready for a game like this.
Yeah.
This is a different Philadelphia NFC Championship. This is a different game.
It's a whole different game.
It's a whole different game.
A playoff game's a playoff game, but you get to those NFC, AFC championships, it's practically a Super Bowl.
Especially in Philly.
Yeah.
I feel like their defense could keep them in this game. All Purdy got to do is probably just relax.
I think the Eagles' offense is good enough to beat the Niners' defense.
I think so. I think the Niners, they've got a good defense. I don't think they've faced an offense. I think the last time they did that has the weapons that the Eagles do was the Chiefs. And that was a 44-22 win for the Chiefs?
I would give credit. Dallas is also kind of like that, but Dak was terrible. And Jalen Hurts is unquestionably a better.
When we played them, when the 49ers missing pieces too? They was missing defensive pieces.
Maybe they had a few guys out. I can't remember. But my note on this one, and I think what you guys have kind of alluded to, is it's going to come down to which quarterback makes fewer mistakes. And in this game, I lean towards Jalen Hurts. I think he's, they're both around the same age, but I think he's a little more experienced. He's seen the pressure before, and he's proven he can play under pressure. We haven't really seen that a lot from Brock Purdy, him being a rookie in both playoff games at home. So that's going to be the test, and I think it's going to come down to, like I said, which quarterback makes fewer mistakes. But at the same time, I think this is the Eagles' biggest test too. Looking at their schedule, and they play a Giants team in the playoffs who they had beaten twice in the regular season, so it wasn't like it's someone they haven't seen before. But now they run into a 49ers team that I think is more than capable of keeping this game close. I do kind of lean Eagles in this one, and that'll be in our pick'em to follow. But you want to go score predictions, or you want to wait? You want to wait for our pick'em to do any score predictions?
Sure.
Let's
I'm okay with that.
We'll wait. So that's going to be a kind of, I think, pins and needles game in that NFC Championship.
Yeah, there's lots of watching that game. I think the big thing is like that front six match, or that line of scrimmage matchup.
Yeah.
In the trenches. That's going to be a very important test. Good for San Francisco, bad for Philadelphia. Lane Johnson's questionable because he played last week, and honestly, maybe he shouldn't have.
Yeah,
probably shouldn't have played last week, and he's questionable to play this week, which is going to be big for if the Niners are going to win. It's going to be they got to attack that offensive line, but it's a good offensive line.
Yeah,
so that's kind of my question is like that offensive line's really good. I think they're probably going to give enough time for Jalen to work his magic. But if they can get to him, I think they win.
Dude, did you see Jason Kelce, his one-arm pancake?
Dude, he chucked that guy.
Bro, it was...
decleated completely.
It was crazy.
And it's crazy with Kelce, too, because I get it. He's a lineman. He's a big dude. But at the same time, he's not that big. He's
for a lineman, he's not that big.
For a lineman, he's not that big.
280 probably?
Yeah, and he's, 6'3"?
6'2"?
Yeah, 6'2", 6'3". So it's like... He looks dwarf next to his other linemen, and it's just like this guy's just putting in work, and he's good at what he does, and that's why he's in the position he is. And yeah, I'm really interested to see that kind of line of scrimmage matchup. And sneaky is that Eagles kind of front as well. I think 49ers are going to have their hands full, kind of protecting Purdy as well. But
they have a bunch of run stoppers.
Yeah,
Fletcher Cox,
and I mean this is
pass rushers.
This is not a positive. As far as like just being a human, having good values, but they're Charles, I don't know how to pronounce the last name, on the Niners is missing because of some legal issues.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
So and he had 2 sacks against the Seahawks, so that's a big loss.
So a big loss, kind of takes us back. It reminds me a lot of the Chiefs winning the AFC Championship against the Bills, but at what cost with Schwartz going down with the injury, and we saw our line was depleted in the Super Bowl, and look where that result ended up.
But I think we lost a lot more. They just lost like their one guy.
Yeah,
because that year we lost Eric Fisher, and
that is true.
We lost basically everyone.
Yeah. So again, that was our kind of preview of San Francisco and Philly, but living in Kansas City. Being Kansas City fans, this is why everyone's watching. This is why everyone's listening. You want to hear what we have to say on this Cincinnati-Kansas City Chiefs AFC showdown. The big question, obviously, going into the game is the health of Mahomes' ankle. I don't know if you've seen the videos. If you haven't, go check them out on Twitter. We've posted a couple. But he looks good in practice. Did you guys see those videos of him kind of jogging around, doing stretches?
Which is positive.
Very, very much so.
No boot.
I'm sure he's got tape underneath his sock. Even on the podium, going down the stairs, he put weight on it.
Yeah, he'd probably wear like a ankle brace.
I think so. And he's got he'll tape it up. Yep, he'll be good to go. But great sign there, because I think if there's any doubt that the ankle might be a bigger issue, we don't see him practice at all this week. And
Sunday, I was scared.
I was
because I was like,
it was going to be bad.
Yeah,
but good sign that he's out there. He was jogging around. I think we're going to get the normal Patrick Mahomes that we see it. Like
usually, like an ankle sprain is like a big ball. I'm surprised it wasn't like that.
Yeah, and keep in mind, I saw this today actually. The last time Mahomes sprained his ankle, high ankle sprain in 2019, right? In Jacksonville. Do you know what the next game back, what he did? That was
he went crazy.
He played the Oakland Raiders when they were still in Oakland.
That was when
he threw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter.
Wasn't that when we played Jacksonville week 1?
Yes.
And that was the week of when Jalen Ramsey was talking a ton on Tyreek Hill, and then
and then Mahomes goes down, and then when he comes back, he throws 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. That was the game he went off with.
That was also the first year when they gave Nick Foles that stupid contract.
Yes. So hopefully history repeats itself and we see Mahomes throw 4 touchdowns in the first quarter. I doubtful in an AFC Championship game, but if Mahomes is throwing 4 touchdowns in the first quarter, I'm going to take it any day of the week. So, moving into kind of other factors in this game, Ashton, what do you think the biggest thing for the Chiefs is going to be in order to, finally etch a win against the Cincinnati Bengals?
Protect Mahomes. Make sure he doesn't get injured.
Yeah.
Give him enough time. And defensively, if we can limit or stop Joe Mixon, that goes a long way.
It really does. And I think it goes a long way in their pass game as well.
Yeah, because a big thing with in the Buffalo game was that they were letting him get through and they would get him to 3rd down, but it was 3rd and 3, 3rd and 2, 3rd and 1, things like that. So we gotta we can't let him get the 3rd and shorts. We gotta 3rd and 5 and above. That's what we gotta aim for.
So you said max protect on Mahomes and kind of make sure he doesn't get hurt or hit early, especially. Do you think we see kind of a dual running backfield? Do you put McKinnon and Pacheco in the backfield to block, to kind of be that safety valve so you've always got kind of an extra guy back there to protect? Or do you see Reed and the Chiefs kind of run their normal thing? Do we see any extra noticeable protection?
I would say just McKinnon, because McKinnon was doing really well.
He was
doing really good. And also, I would love for Clyde to come back. Yeah, I know he's not, but I would love to see him come back.
Hey,
I don't think he is. He hasn't been activated off IR yet. But I mean, maybe he could, but I don't think he is. I would like to see Clyde come back and play because I feel like he would be good at that role. Because he's kind of like McKinnon. He's small. He can push his weight.
Jalen, being a lineman yourself, what would you like to see out of this Chiefs O-line?
Please, for the love of God, if our tackles can do their job, it would have been like that.
Why is Lucas Niang not starting yet? He's back from injury. He needs to start. I don't know why he hasn't been starting.
Well,
maybe in the back of their mind, they're, I don't want to say saving him, but
what are they saving?
Maybe he's that emergency player.
This is the big matchup.
Think about, Schwartz going down in the AFC Championship, and then
if we let Mahomes go down the AFC Championship, there's no Super Bowl to be worried about.
That's true.
What I was gonna say is like Ashton was saying, we can use Jared McKinnon like how we in San Francisco he he chipped like against Nick Bosa when Andrew Wiley went up against Nick Bosa. He most of the time just chipping. Any side Nick Bosa's on, he was just chipping. I see him doing that.
Yeah.
But please, for the love of God, can our tackles do our job?
That's what you get paid the money to do, and it just sometimes puzzles me that we fail to do that when you're getting paid that much money to protect a guy.
I am a little worried though about Mahomes' mobility. That's just it's just how much he can how he can move because that's such a big part of his game. It's not the only part of his game, but it's a big part of his game. And I feel like to get full Mahomes to win this game,
you need full Mahomes mobility,
right? And we need Mahomes, or just the ability for him to move out of the pocket. He doesn't have to be as good as he normally is, just the ability to do it.
I say this is gonna be a big test for him. It's gonna be see if he's a really good pocket QB.
Yeah. Speaking of pocket QB, I love that you brought this up. I've got some stats here on Mahomes. Mahomes inside the pocket this year. His QBR is at 73. Where do you think that ranks in the NFL? First. Passing touchdowns at 35.
First.
Passing touchdown percentage per play at 6.2%.
First.
And first down completion percentage.
First.
I'll take Patrick Mahomes in the pocket. And yes, he does scramble, and when he does, he makes those plays that get us out of trouble. But if you give this man time in the pocket to read the whole field, he's proven this year he's going to tear you apart. And hopefully that's the case. And I think, like both of you said, it's going to come down to protecting Mahomes and making sure he's got time to make those reads because he's going to be, we think, limited on his mobility.
And I think this really game, the Bengals might blitz a lot because since that injury,
Yeah.
because he probably won't be able to move around. But you see what happened every time a team blitz Mahomes. What happens?
It doesn't end up well. It does not end up well.
I was going to say, though, I was kind of shocked that the Jaguars didn't blitz too much on Sunday after Mahomes was injured. They seemed to just kind of go for their normal game plan instead of blitzing and putting the pressure on them.
And, I'm going to make a prediction here. I think the first offensive play for the Chiefs is going to be some type of read option, some type of rollout. They're going to show Mahomes is mobile enough, if he's healthy enough, which from the videos I've seen, I think he'll be able to he won't be himself moving around, but I think he'll be at a point where he feels comfortable enough to move around that first scripted play is going to be a rollout, a read option, kind of like we saw against Jacksonville, where it kind of shows Cincinnati we're willing to run Mahomes and Mahomes can run. That way, just plant that seed in their mind so they can't completely abandon a spy and drop a couple guys back.
What I was going to say is last championship when we played them, we ran the ball. It was getting like 7-6 yards. I see we stick to that again.
Yeah, why not?
Because it was working.
It's working.
And then we went away from it. Then
yeah, and I think that's where it cost us is we kind of went away from it. We got too cute there, and we didn't stick to what we had. And I like the run game even more with Pacheco in the lineup this year.
Dude, he's so fast.
The dude is fast. He's strong. He's hungry. He has that edge, and I love Clyde like we talked about, but he's got that edge that Clyde just didn't have. And I think that's going to be the difference makers is the run game in the Chiefs. And if we can get that going early, then I think, we may see a more lopsided score than a lot predict.
And I would say whenever we played earlier this year, when we lost by 3 at Cincinnati, which is, I think that was probably our closest game, was losing by 3 to them. I think that was our closest game we played against them since Mahomes and Burrow.
It's been 3 every time.
Yeah.
Isn't that wild? It's been like 27-24.
Let me check.
Yeah, because the first time we played them in Cincinnati and we lost by 3. Then the second time was the AFC Championship. And we lost by 3.
Lost by 3, and we lost by 3 last time, right?
Yeah, I don't know. And I guess
isn't that wild?
It's always coming down to like the 2 minutes,
because it feels like it's way more than 3. I feel like it's more. I don't know. It's like, do we? Okay, I would say I think what I got from the first 2 games we played against them, it was we started off good and then we ended terrible.
Yep.
And the last game, it was like we kind of struggled throughout the whole game, but it was still close.
Yeah, they were up. I think 14-3 was their biggest lead, and then we kind of fought our way back in.
I mean, the biggest thing for me is the Travis Kelce fumble. If he wouldn't have got that, we probably would have won. And also, Harrison missed a field goal.
Yep.
Which we lost by 3.
Yep.
So I feel like Jarek, I don't think he was as hot as he is now. Back when we played them.
Yeah.
So he's a bit more of a hot streak. Pacheco, is doing his thing. Mm-hmm. The receiving core is a bit more versatile.
Yeah.
Than it was back then.
And Kadarius Toney, he was out in that game too.
Okay, yeah, I don't even know if was he even on our team? He was on our team.
Yeah, he was out.
He was out.
But he was out.
13, yeah.
So yeah, that's a Kadarius. I love Kadarius.
He's a different animal.
I'm gonna get his jersey. He's so good.
You want to hear my hot take with Tony? He, I think, is going to end up having a better career than Tyreek Hill did in Kansas City. Just let that sink in. He is a different. Okay, he's not as fast, but everything is so direct with him.
Who is?
Who?
I said who is as fast as Tyreek.
Oh, yeah. But I feel like Tony is more direct, where Tyreek was always, it seemed like he'd catch, and it was either this, and make a guy, or it was always up and around the edge, where Tony is north and south quick.
Kadarius, though, what I love is he's so funny. Whenever he gets tackled, he always looks the same. He always jerks his helmet around like that.
Oh yeah, it always looks like he's near
like his neck
terrific
is
injury.
Yeah,
dude, when he ran over I think it was Rashad Jenkins
almost touchdown.
Yep. That was so close. If he would have stepped out, that was a touchdown.
And you can tell, his short time here in Kansas City, he's still trying to figure out, I think, himself as a player too. But each week, I feel like he's getting more and more comfortable, and we're just about to see him explode.
He loves it here, though. You can tell he loves it here.
Yep, you can absolutely tell. And watch out for him. That's all I'm gonna say. Watch out for him.
That was a crazy take, though.
I'm telling you, he's gonna end up having a better career. When it's all said and done, when it's all said and done, you're gonna say Tony had a better career than Tyreek Hill.
I'm gonna need to see him being a receiving threat like Tyreek Hill is before I say that.
Yeah,
but
he's not as quick as because Tyreek can just run and
Tyreek is just different.
But I could say if there's I haven't saw like him run like routes or nothing, so I gotta see.
Dude, oh my, his route running is amazing.
I gotta see.
It's so good. Do you want to talk about the Bengals here?
Yeah, let's flip over the Bengals. Let's start with what's making headlines in social media here. So if you didn't catch it, the Cincinnati in Buffalo into the game. The game's wrapped up. A couple of their corners, a couple of their defensive members who lack some skills on the football field had a few interesting things to say. So I'll let you guys go ahead and listen to this video here.
We'll see y'all in Burrowhead. Yeah, baby. Let that sink in your mind. We'll see y'all in Burrowhead.
Why do teams do this? Especially against the Chiefs. If Patrick Mahomes is on the other sideline, why would you ever? Every time it kind of fired. It used to make me mad when you get an interception at the 40-yard line, the whole defense runs down to the end zone.
I like that. I like that. I'm not gonna lie.
It used to make me mad. Now when I see teams do it against us, I love it because I'm like, you just doomed yourself. Into the game, there's going to be that picture. Oh, San Francisco's up 21-10 at this moment in the third quarter, and then next thing you know, ball game, Chiefs win by 10.
I just don't understand why you aggravate us.
It doesn't make sense.
It didn't work for Lawrence last week on Mahomes with a sprained ankle. It didn't work out for him.
It didn't work. So my question to you, is this, added motivation for Kansas City? Is it just nonsense? Is this something you think the players pay attention to? Do they just kind of brush it off as, everybody trash talks, but interesting with the Burrowhead. Jalen, what's your thoughts on this?
I say it's a mix. It's a brush off and a motivational thing. So
a little of both?
Yeah. I just
Eli Apple is so bad.
I don't want to be disrespectful. You know what? I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm not gonna say.
Eli Apple is so bad. Why? What is he talking for? He's literally the worst corner.
And that was Mike Hilton. That was Mike Hilton.
Mike Hilton, but Eli Hilton was the one that was dancing. And
yeah, he was right there.
What is he doing?
Yeah,
I'm trying to think. That would have been who's a really bad corner? Who's one of our previous really bad corners that we've had? Mike Hughes.
Don't give me started.
Imagine the Buffalo game. Before the Buffalo game, he was talking bad and then gets exposed by Gabe Davis.
Bro, that was bad.
Well, that's like Dan Sorensen saying something.
That would have been like if Daniel Sorensen came out and did some stupid.
So again, with the Burrowhead comments, I get it. It's trash talk. It's fun. It raises that kind of amp to the game. But that being said, it's not going to be an easy task against Burrow and the Bengals. They're hot right now. They're playing high-level football on both sides of the ball. The Burrow-Chase connection is unreal right now. Let's reverse roles here. If you're Cincinnati, what do you have to do to beat the Chiefs?
I'm too biased on this, but I'm going to go ahead and say you probably have to stick to the run game. But knowing us, we're going to stop the run game. We're going to stop it. But, yeah, you're going to have to stick to the run game. Joe Burrow's going to have to find Jamar Chase on the one-on-one. If we run like man or something, find Jamar Chase or even T. Higgins on the one-on-one and just, their chemistry, Joe Burrow's chemistry with his wide receivers is something totally different.
Yeah.
Because when he sees a one-on-one, he's going to take it.
Yeah.
But like I said, stick to the run and find a good one-on-one.
Ashton, what do you think?
I like that.
Stick that. What do you got? What do the Bengals have to do to make it to back-to-back Super Bowl?
So I know we don't necessarily really know, but it's as much as we think is Mahomes probably gonna be limited. So get pressure on Mahomes, and he won't be able to escape like he normally can. I think that's gonna be big for them to win this game. And I would say Jamar Chase to have a good day, but that's gonna happen. I hate to break it to us, it's gonna happen.
He's one of those guys. I mean, he's gonna get his either way. You look at it. The dude's a freak. And
I'm going to say this right now. Trent McDuffie didn't do too bad last time.
He didn't. And I think he was learning in that game still. He was still young. I think he's got a little more experience underneath him, and I'm excited to see that.
He's still going to have a great day. It doesn't matter. It's just He's Jamar Chase. It's what he does.
The McDuffie-Chase combo matchup, I'm excited to see what the young guy can do.
If we can hold Jamar under 100, that'd be nice.
Yeah.
That'd be probably big.
And it's crazy. So the Bengals are 3-0 against the Chiefs. You look at those games, all decided by 3 points. Both teams, holding a lead at some point. The Chiefs, looking great in all first halves of those games, I feel like. And, we're up by 17, we're up by 14, we're up by 8 in all 3 games. So it's not like, yes, people say, oh, the Bengals have the Chiefs number. It's not like they're blowouts. It's not like it's a 24-10,
27-10.
27-10 game. They're 3-point games. Right. 1 or 2 plays fall the other way, and the Chiefs could be 3-0 against the Bengals, and this is a completely different conversation.
It's either the turnovers, just literally the factor of the game.
Yeah.
If you turn over the ball in the middle of the game, that team wins.
Yep.
It's literally every time against the Bengals and the Chiefs. If you turn over the ball, that team wins.
In that second or third quarter, yep. Whoever wins that turnover battle is coming out victorious. So I hope the Chiefs win this game, obviously. We'll have to find out on Sunday. So that was the NFC Championship. Short show today as we move straight into our pick'em. Ashton, again, 10-0 in the playoffs. Jalen, have you lost in the playoffs either?
I didn't lose last
5-1. You took.
Oh yeah, I lost.
I forgot you took the Vikings.
Yeah, and I lost.
You picked the Vikings to win a playoff game.
That is.
I should pick the Giants because I already knew it was gonna be a 1 minute.
You would have been perfect if you didn't choose that.
I should have stick with the Giants because I knew
it's okay.
If you stop Justin Jefferson, that Vikings team is nothing.
Okay. We try to warn him about the Chargers. Yeah. I try to warn him. He didn't listen.
I took them. They looked great. It looked great.
No, it didn't. It started.
Yeah. To start the game, it looked fantastic. So our current standings right now, as we speak, as I get them pulled up here, Ashton finds himself in first, 43-17 on the year. Well done. I'm in second with a record of 41-19, so I'm 2 games back. And then Jalen, you were out of it for a second, but you're creeping right back in at 36-24. So let's go ahead and get to these games. We'll do NFC first and then AFC. Jalen, let's start with you. San Francisco 49ers visiting the Philadelphia Eagles. Who do you have and why?
I'm going to have to take 49ers because that defense, the defense is it's crazy. I feel like that's what's going to keep them in the game, help them win. The offense situation, like I said earlier, Brock Purdy's just going to have to calm down. It's an NFC Championship. He's just going to have to calm down. That's really it.
Yeah. Ashton?
I'm going to go with the Eagles.
Okay. I thought you were going to flip there for a second.
No, I'm going to go with the Eagles. I think Brock Purdy, I think he's going to crack. I think he's going to be his big, first pressure game. He's going to feel the pressure. I think that Eagles defense, I don't think people talk about how good it is enough. It's really good. And I think this is these two defenses are pretty equal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I honestly, I wouldn't give them I wouldn't give the Eagles the edge in secondary, but they are they're close defenses, and I think I just think the Eagles are gonna. I think the Eagles got the better quarterback, and I think they got the better receivers.
Yeah, I think you nailed it on the head there with your kind of last closing remarks there. I'm going to take the Eagles as well. For me, it comes down to quarterback play. I think these teams are pretty similar when it comes to everything else across the board besides the quarterback position. Both great defenses, both explosive weapons, but I'm going to trust Jalen Hurts over Brock Purdy in this one. I'm going to take the Eagles. So we got 2 on the Eagles, 1 on the 49ers.
I'm going to say this is Brock Purdy revenge game. Because when he lost to Oklahoma by 1 point.
By 1 point. Yeah, that is true. He lost to Jalen
What was
Hurts
that game? Wasn't it the Big 12 championship or something like that? Or was it a regular season game?
Regular season, but I think the winner went to the Big 12 championship. I think there were some implications there.
By 1 point.
1 point. And it was a 2-point conversion, too. They went for 2 to try to win.
They picked it off.
So the game that everyone, wants to hear, we have Cincinnati visiting Kansas City. I'll start with my pick. I've got the Chiefs, and I've got the Chiefs by 10. I think this is the game where that one or two plays that have gone Cincinnati's way in the past go the Chiefs' way. We get a turnover somehow, some way. We capitalize on that turnover and then maybe get a late field goal to kind of really put the icing on the cake, kind of like Cincinnati did in Buffalo last week. So I've got Chiefs by 10. Jalen?
I got Chiefs by 3. It's going to come down, like I said, the turnover situation is going to come down, like you said, either second or third quarter. Someone has the turnover, they're going to win that game. So I say Chiefs by 3. We're going to get the ball, and we just go to that clock.
So on our Google Doc here that we have on our computers, we've got all the picks in, and then there's Ashton's box for the Chiefs-Bengals kind of grayed out, just waiting to make a pick. What do you got, Ashton? Who are you taking?
All right. I think the winner. I think. So by 3, under 5.
Okay, under 5.
The team in red's gonna win. Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. I was actually debating it in my head.
Yeah,
I was seriously.
And I flip back and forth all week. I'm like, I mean, the circumstances. I just gotta trust my Chiefs in this one. There's no way Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid lose to the Bengals 4 times in a row. Yeah, it just can't happen.
I want to go back on the motivational thing, like you said. That's probably. I mean, like what they was doing at saying Burrowhead. I think that's what's gonna get them pumped. And it's probably gonna be dummy loud, super loud.
I hope so. So again, this has been another episode of Fifth Block Sports. We look forward to watching these games this weekend. I think both are going to be electric. If you're going to the Chiefs game, I shouldn't hear your voice on Monday. Scream loud for us. If you're watching at home, scream through your TV. This is a big one. We need to get back to the Super Bowl and kind of continue that Mahomes legacy. Like always, check us out on Twitter, on YouTube, and gonorthman.org/podcast. Until next time, it's been a pleasure. Let's go around this way.
Ashton.
Jalen.
And I'm Zach. We'll see you later.